It's one thing for Bill O'Reilly, who, as he points out frequently, is Catholic, to have called out John McCain for accepting the endorsement of a reverend who called Catholicism, quote, the great whore. But when even O'Reilly challenged McCain because of that same reverend's remarks about gay people, you know somebody on the Straight Talk Express needs to get out and ask for directions. Because in our fourth story tonight, John McCain is evidently not driving the bus. Remarkably, today, not a single member of the media asked McCain about his continuing refusal to disavow the endorsement which he sought from Reverend John Hagee, despite the fact that last night McCain disavowed Hagee's anti-Catholicism, but not his homophobia. Homophobia, which was manifest in a nationally broadcast interview before McCain sought that endorsement, in which Hagee said that God had used Katrina to kill American citizens in New Orleans because the city was going to have a gay pride parade. Instead, McCain turned a question about age into an excuse to discuss, yes, Reverend Wright.
Every issue that the American people want to be an issue and it's part of their discussions, it's fine with me. It's fine with me. Just as the Reverend Wright's remarks, I don't believe that Senator Obama shares his views in any way. But he has said that it's a legitimate topic of discussion. If that's what the American people want to discuss, that's fine.
We'll take a vote. The McCain campaign today worked hard to alchemize "lost his bearings" into a slur about McCain's age, displaying outrage notably absent when Fox News defended McCain's enduring confusion or conflation of Shia and Sunni as having, quote, a senior moment. Which could explain why McCain today also denied a report in today's New York Times, which increases to 3 the number of people who heard McCain say in 2000 that, oh, by the way, he did not vote for George Bush for president. Joining us now, MSNBC political analyst Rachel Maddow, also host of The Rachel Maddow Show on weeknights got too many ons in there. She's on the radio. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Keith.
All right. I thought, didn't I hear somewhere that even Newt Gingrich tried to warn McCain, do not seek the right treasure. Do not campaign on Jeremiah Wright. What happened?
Newt maybe should have added, particularly don't campaign on that if you have no idea how you want to use the issue. Right. How strange is it for John McCain, for the campaign really, to have sent the candidate's wife on the Today Show this week to say that her husband unequivocally rejects all negative campaigning? She even referenced the Bush Rove 2000 John McCain has a black baby stuff in making the case, saying you will not hear any of the stuff coming from us. And then to put the candidate himself out on the stump saying, you want to talk about my age? You want to talk about Reverend Wright? You want to talk about Barack Obama being a terrorist? Anything you want to talk about, it's all fine with me. I am tempted to say this strategy is something about, having and eating cake, but it's probably too simple.
The Obama campaign responded to the stuff about Hamas by saying this is an indication that McCain lost his bearings. That's not an age thing. Bearings, how you conduct yourself, your sense of moral direction, how you carry yourself. There's no dictionary definition or even colloquial definition that implies, you're losing your marbles.
Or your faculties.
Your faculties, right? Something along those lines. Is the idea just to paint Obama as a negative campaigner anytime he says, vote for me, and somebody in McCain's camp will say, that's ageism?
Maybe. I've always felt like calling somebody a negative campaigner is one of the more impotent of American political slurs. I don't think that tends to decide elections, except in extreme cases. No. But the bigger picture here is that the age issue seems to, and pardon the inference here, but it does seem to confuse the McCain campaign. They haven't had a great response to it. They have known for a very long time that John McCain would be the oldest American president ever elected. They know that it is an issue for voters. For some voters out of pure ageist prejudice, and for some voters out of concerns about his fitness for the job. It shouldn't be a surprise to them, but yet they don't seem to have a coherent strategy for addressing it, other than doing this awkward show and tell thing with McCain's elderly mother. That can't be their whole strategy.
Look, somebody older than him.
Somebody older than me, by definition. It's very awkward. This is the first maybe indication that they're going to try to deal with the age issue by yelling ageism very loud and with a lot of conviction whenever the issue comes up. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be.
Re-inspiring me to once again use the old man yells at cloud line. Well, on the same night, both O'Reilly and I hit McCain on Hagee. I'm guessing under those circumstances, maybe despite the media's silence about John Hagee, we may not have heard the last about John Hagee.
I think John Hagee may finally be on the playing field in terms of things that get discussed in this campaign. And McCain has helped keep it on the playing field by refusing to renounce the New Orleans was cursed by Katrina because New Orleans had too much of the gay, or whatever that argument was. McCain has really overtly avoided denouncing those specific comments, and so by that he has kept the issue on the table. We have also seen the ante upped a little bit in terms of McCain's pastors. Over the course of this past week, we have seen a lot of tape about Rod Parsley, who is the other pastor in John McCain's endorsement quiver. And the Rod Parsley videotape and audio tape is scary stuff. I mean, it's Alan Keyes to the nth in terms of the rhetorical tone and the rhetorical aggression. And so I think with Parsley nudging himself onto the table, Hagee starting to become a more mainstream issue, they're going to need a strategy on these as well.
Yeah, that's apocalyptic stuff that we're hearing out of Pastor Parsley. Last point, claiming now that he enthusiastically supported George Bush and voted for him in 2000. First off, he's a liar either then or now. But does it help him to be lying now so people say, no, he didn't vote for Bush? I mean, that's a real tough one for him to work his way out of, isn't it?
Yeah, this is kind of, I see this as kind of a lose-lose. Maybe he thinks he can spin it into a win-win. I thought the one weird aspect of this story to me is that his campaign went out of their way to, on record, call Arianna Huffington names for having reported this. They called her a flake and a poser and all these sort of like junior high names. Implying that they're very sensitive on this issue as well. That, of course, when you start doing stuff like that, people start bringing out their corroborating evidence from other people who were at the dinner party where he said it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an index going on the chances that he turns right into Bob Dole at some point in front of our eyes. I think it's about 22% right now. Anyway, we'll see. Rachel Maddow, who's on the radio. Have a good weekend not being on the radio.
I will do. I will. Thanks.